Okay, so one more try. An auditorium has a total of 16 rows. Each successive row contains 2 more seats than the previous row. The total seating capacity of the 16 rows is 608. So what we have is we have 16 rows of seats, right? So seat 1, we got a bunch of spaces. And then we go all the way up to like 15 and then 16. So we've got 16 rows of seats. And we know that if we add up all the seats, we have 608. And we know that each row has 2 more seats than the previous row. And we want to know how many are in the third row. One of the things you'll learn a lot in this is about how to create structure. I need to create a structure with which makes this problem solvable. So the structure I'm going to do is I'm just going to give one of the numbers of the rows a name. So since I want to know how many are in the third row, I'm going to call this row R. That's how many seats are in that row. It has R number of seats. Well then the second row has R minus 2 because it is 2 less. And this one has R minus 4 because it has 2 less than the one before it. And the fourth row has R plus 2. And the fifth row has R plus 4. And again, so on and so forth. And now we're filling in. I'm not going to write them all out. It would take me a really long time. But we're going to have a bunch of them here in the middle, right? And then we're going to get down. Well, if you'll notice, at the fourth one we had 1, 2. And then the fifth one we had 2, 2. So we have 3 less 2. So on 15, we're going to have R. And then we're going to have added to that, we're going to have 12 twos. So there's going to be 24 more rows than R here. So we keep adding 2. So again, where'd that come from? How did I figure that out? Well, again, at 4, I've added 1 2. At 5, I've added 2 2. So I've added 3 less 2s than the number I'm at. So at 15, I've added 24 twos. And then at 16, it's R plus 26. Now again, on your piece of paper, you might write out every single one of these just so that you have them all written out. Now what I know is if I add all these together, I get 608. Well, how many R's are here? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 16. There's 16 R's. Now, how many numbers are here? Well, those numbers, this -4 and this -4, and +4 and this -2 and this +2, they cancel out. So what I need to do is I just need to go about adding up the numbers 6, 8, and you can do this by hand. You can do it with a calculator, however you want. If you add that up, I believe you get 176. If you add up all those missing numbers in there. And that has to equal 608. So then I subtract the 176, so 16R equals 432. And now I'm just going to divide. That was a horrible 4. 432. I'm going to divide both sides by R, and that comes out to be 27. So there are 27 seats in the third row. And again, this is all about creating structure. I didn't have any structure. I created structure. And then once the structure was created, the problem solving in and of itself is pretty simple. Again, always ask questions if you have them.